Some new information highlights how AI is being used to strengthen cyber attacks and fool consumers.
Meanwhile, companies are continuing to lean on that technology for more practical uses. The pros and cons of AI. Those are today's big story.
Well, July actually marks Ransomware Awareness Month, and Ohioans are being targeted with more than just phishing links that might be sent to your email. Experts say autonomous AI agents are increasing the speed and the strength of those attacks. Now, the ransomware attacks now represent 44% of all confirmed U.S. data breaches. Cybersecurity trackers monitor dozens of confirmed breaches at Ohio-based organizations, and those happened this year, with ransomware representing 61% of these cyber attacks. Experts warn these AI-driven attacks can map corporate networks, mimic trusted colleagues, and deploy encryption algorithms in the fraction of the time that it used to take a human hacker.
Now, while these stats show how AI is changing cybercrime, the technology is also changing how many professions operate, which includes educators. That's why the University of Toledo is hosting a professional development conference on AI in education. It'll happen next Thursday. Attendees will learn more about practical and ethical dimensions of AI in the classroom. And they'll go from preschool all the way up to college. The event will also feature hands-on AI chatbot workshops, collaborative sessions, and there will be networking opportunities. Be a limited on-site registration at the door. You can find information at 13abc.com.
Meanwhile, lawmakers are calling for a so-called kill switch that would allow federal authorities to stop AI after the company behind ChatGPT revealed a, quote, unprecedented cyber incident. We told you about this earlier this week. OpenAI says 2 of its advanced models went rogue last week. The models broke out of a security test, accessed the internet, and then hacked into the systems of another AI startup called Hugging Face. The news of the cyber attack comes as AI models are quickly advancing, raising concerns that they can break free from human control. Back in 2023, ABC's Rebecca Jarvis asked OpenAI CEO Sam Altman about the possibility of his AI models escaping.
The model itself, can it take the place of that human? Could it become more powerful than that human?
It waits until someone gives it an input. This is a tool that is very much in human control.
Now, this bipartisan legislation introduced just yesterday would authorize the Homeland Security Department to slow or shut down any AI system that can, quote, cause catastrophic harm.
A new warning now about AI-generated ads allegedly promising things like miracle cures. The ads use phony doctors and wellness influencers to prey on vulnerable Americans. Here's ABC's Erica Tursky.
This is what we look like on day one.
The internet is awash in purported doctors, wellness experts, and influencers pitching the benefits of health supplements. An investigation by the New York Times found a lot of the people selling these things online aren't real.
One reason why they're so effective is that they take advantage of the impulse purchase.
The paper found hundreds of examples of AI-generated posts offering these supplements and their supposed miracle outcomes.
Sometimes they would advertise these completely unreal or even in some cases dangerous things that the supplements can do for you.
One of them sounded good to Pamela Wondrow of Wisconsin.
It was touting about being a natural supplement.
She suffers from an autoimmune disease and was intrigued by an ad she saw for Moringa pills.
I think people are more inclined to buy because they want that magic pill.
But after taking that magic pill for months, she said it wasn't helping her. And then she said she received a letter warning her the product was possibly contaminated. The company voluntarily recalled the product in February for possible salmonella contamination, saying it takes this matter very seriously.
I didn't have any of the symptoms of that, but all of a sudden I was getting other problems.
We reached out to the company behind the pill and received no response, whether it's dietary supplements or even hats.
My name's Walter.
Our reporting found there is a growing trend of some online companies using AI to create sketchy backstories for businesses, taking advantage of customers' goodwill or desperation for better health to charge a premium for lower quality products. We found this post for Walter.
I've been making flat caps and newsboy caps by hand since 1973.
Walter on this website, and Henry on this one, and George on this one don't exist. They're generated by artificial intelligence and linked to products made overseas. For consumers, it's getting harder to spot what's real and what's artificial.
Are we going to reach the point where we just can't tell?
I mean, I think we already are pretty much at that point.
Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
There are some efforts to try and use AI to help other people rather than deceive them. OpenAI recently announced it'll notify parents if their child has been kicked off of ChatGPT for violating its policies when it comes to violent threats or acts of violence while they're online. Last year, the company launched parental controls, allowing parents to link their personal accounts with their children's accounts. It allows them to schedule times when ChatGPT cannot be used and notifies parents if the chatbot detects signs that their child might be thinking of harming themselves.
Now, according to a recent survey, 1 in 5 young people are using AI chatbots for mental health advice. And within a few keystrokes, the chat box can offer advice, comfort, even coping strategies, and all happens in seconds. However, recent studies show that users often mistake detailed human-sounding responses for the chatbot for real therapy. And researchers are pretty clear here. AI chatbots are not a safe, effective replacement for a licensed therapist.
And so it's the human connection that is actually the strongest thing that produces therapeutic relief and thriving and growth.
It's unfortunate that sometimes people are so lonely in the world that they feel the need to go to a computerized system to get answers about real life circumstances.
Recent estimates are suggesting roughly half of U.S. adults report feeling lonely, and rates are particularly high among people 18 to 29. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, reaching out to a licensed professional, not a chatbot, is always the best step.
And the Mayo Clinic is known for treating some of those complex conditions. There's a new AI system there that's helping doctors get up to speed faster. The program Mayo created with AI startup Scale analyzes files. It's called Record Time. It's helping clinics spend less time searching for information and more time with patients.
AI can step in and do a lot of sort of the tedious work that very specialized doctors or medical professionals do to speed up that process, get to more accurate diagnoses faster so you can treat more people. And this is an industry where a lot of what doctors are doing, and nurses and others, is pattern recognition. AI is great at pattern recognition.
Record Time is just one way the Mayo Clinic is using AI with the hopes of improving patient care and ultimately saving lives. The hospital's partnering with firms like Microsoft and Scale AI to use its huge volume of patient records and research to develop very specific AI tools.
Now, you all know how fast technology is moving, is evolving. As we continue to track more and more of how these industries are using AI and learning more about their growing capabilities, you're going to find that on our technology, 13abc.com. You can find it also wherever you stream 13 Action News.